So, Gregor, you're wanting to know about this James Gunn deal, right, with DC?
Yes.
That was what we
Oh,
we were
God.
going to lead with. What was that, Zach? Was that disparaging? Was that despair? I heard
It
in
was
your voice.
despair. I
Yes.
mean, I don't know anything about this James Gunn thing that you're talking about. So I'd like to hear about what it is that you know about it.
Right. Okay. So we all know that James Gunn, basically launched the Guardians of the Galaxy into the unprecedented success that that the franchise currently enjoys. Right.
What franchise?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
And now he has left Marvel, and has taken over essentially DC Studios, not Warner Brothers, to my understanding, just DC Studios, to kind of serve as their Kevin Feige.
Right.
What Kevin
There's a
Feige,
co-Feige too. I don't remember that guy's name though. He has no name recognition. But go on.
Kevin Feige doesn't have
No,
name
there's a
recognition?
co-Feige in like to the James Gunn. Right. James Gunn has a co-king of the DC Studios, but I don't know the
Peter
guy's
Safran.
name.
Peter Safran.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
he has got no name recognition. That's what I was saying. So
Yeah.
go on. James
Okay.
Gunn is the Feige of DCEU.
Correct. Now, what people are afraid of is that, and it seems I've looked and I've tried to find official statements, and there really aren't many aside from tweets, playful tweets about what the future holds.
Mm-hmm.
Gunn and Safran have not released any concrete statements about anything. This is all seems to be purely fan speculation, and they're.
So why is there a change.org petition and people protesting and having some kind of hashtag promotion crap going on? Why is that?
Well,
I
apparently,
don't know, because people cannot remove their lips from Zack Snyder's asshole.
Yeah, I mean, it just
Jesus Christ, they should have fired him a long time ago.
It just
Why?
doesn't seem organic.
Fuck Zack
This
Snyder.
all
Why,
seems to
though?
be fake, right? Like I think it just seems fake to me.
He
Like,
sucks.
You
I
mean
don't believe.
manufactured? You mean manufactured drama then, or
Yes,
manufactured intrigue?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't see that there's very many people for real that are big Zack Snyder DCEU lovers, right? I mean, I just don't
I mean,
think that
there
there's
were
enough
people
of those
like,
people that really genuinely feel passionate about it. I think it's fake.
I mean, enough people felt that way to get the Justice League Snyder cut released, which
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
was better than the.
I think that's fake. I
Really?
think that's all fake. It's astroturfing, I think.
I mean, I don't think so. I think they were kind of on the fence about it, and I think it probably pushed them over to actually releasing it. But I do agree that, yeah, it probably wasn't as big as, it was, because, like a lot of the annoying assholes were just like, oh, Snyder fans are so awful. I hate you more than Zack Snyder. Fuck off.
I mean, I just think it was mainly fake to try to, basically,
Well, then why
create
did
this
they?
alleged groundswell of support for a product, right?
Okay, well, with the Zack Snyder Justice League project and the viral, whatever, it was manufactured, then why did they depart from that direction soon afterward?
What do you mean? I'm not following you.
That they basically separated from Zack Snyder's vision after that, even though it was a huge success.
Well, that was pretty much done, though, right? I mean,
yeah.
No. He set up little crumbs in the.
No. I'm not saying.
And it fucking sucked.
I'm not saying it played its course naturally. I'm just saying
You're
after
very
the
emotional
guys.
about both of you. I love it.
I mean,
I had to sit through Batman v Superman in the theater. That shit was painful.
You sucker, you poor bastard. You could say whatever you want to. I'm sorry, Gregory.
It was over. I mean,
It wasn't though. Batman
you're not
and
listening
Joker
to what I'm saying.
Well, okay.
I mean, with all due respect, is what I mean to say, Jeremy.
I don't see it.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he had finished his vision, right? He hadn't played out whatever his vision was. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that due to circumstances beyond their control, it was pretty much over, right? The entirety of the Zack Snyder thing, because after his kid killed himself or whatnot, right?
Oh, I
You know what
see.
I mean? There was like really not any coming back from that.
I
You know,
forget about that.
Yeah, to be somewhat fair to Zack Snyder, I'm sure he also had like pressure from the DC studios to be like, okay, you need to make the Avengers Endgame now, no delay, make Avengers Endgame now, except with DC characters. And he's just like, oh, come on, man, I just want to make my fantasies about how superheroes are like gods among men. I can't, I don't know if I can do that.
Well, it makes more sense for them to be mythical in quality than to be everymen, because they're not. They are separate. Their experiences are separate. However,
I do not like his vision. I think that's why Watchmen wasn't as good as it could have been, because he had this delusion of superheroes as like the superior men.
I thought Watchmen, once again, we never see eye to eye on this, but I believe that Watchmen, the movie, was superior to the comic book. I just do.
Go sit in the corner. You're completely wrong.
Yeah, you're insane. I mean, I can understand the argument. I can understand the argument. Wait, hold on a second. What I mean is, with all due respect, I disagree with you, Jeremy. So,
it was probably the best film version of Watchmen we would have gotten at the time. But better than the comic, fuck off.
A giant fucking squid drops on a building.
That's only a single aspect, though, right? I mean, you can't say that.
They got everything else in there, though. I don't see you. Ben has made the argument that Sally Jupiter was not portrayed.
Yeah, she sucked in the movie.
But they nailed all her essential scenes. What was missing?
No, she didn't. She was cardboard in the movie.
They got her scene on Mars with Dr. Manhattan. They got her hooking up with Night Owl.
Again, also mad. That was one of the worst scenes in the movie. I mean, with him playing fucking Leonard Cohen over it.
Aside from the concept of having the, what was it, alien invasion? What was alien invasion or whatever at the end of the movie versus the squid, interdimensional squid thing? I mean, that's your main argument, that it was better than the comic.
It made more sense for it to be a Dr. Manhattan.
But that's your main argument. It has nothing. I mean, the rest of it, right, is far superior.
I don't think it did. Dr. Manhattan was solidly on the side of the U.S.
Again,
at least in the Soviets' eyes.
If
he went rogue, the Soviets would blame the U.S.
Aside from the supplemental, like side character stuff in between chapters, which they couldn't include. I mean, they essentially
like it hit the beats, but it did not get the spirit of the comic, because again, Zack Snyder likes to view superheroes as like the superior man in his Randian fantasies.
But I think that they were painfully human. Except for Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan was the only one who was godlike in that movie.
Night Owl. I don't think so. Like, especially with the way it did the fight scenes.
Night Owl was not mythic. Rorschach was unmasked.
Yeah, Night Owl wasn't. I mean, Rorschach wasn't grimy enough, and Night Owl wasn't nerdy enough.
They nailed Rorschach. I don't see.
I don't agree with that. It's pretty clear that Zack Snyder sees Rorschach as being in the right, which he's not. Okay. At least not on the whole.
Well, getting back to my main point, apparently most of this seems to be fan speculation with possible leaks internally on what Gunn and Safran may have planned, and fans are reacting. They're jumping the gun, basically. They're and Safran and Gunn are keeping everything close to the vest.
So what is the rumor? What are the rumors that they're reacting to?
They want to shit can Henry Cavill as Superman, which has almost happened once, and fans are vehemently against that. Like, marching through the street.
Like he's got the look, but I put it more on Zack Snyder's direction that he doesn't act at all like fucking Superman.
Right.
Thanks,
but
Eli.
I don't think that Cavill's actually. I think they're going to bring him back and change the entire feel of his character, because I've seen some interviews or an interview where it seems as if Cavill alluded to a return to like a hopeful depiction of Superman. You know what I mean? So it sounds as if potentially that's what they're going to be doing, and I think that's what they should do.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I maintain that the way he was directed, he may as well have just been the Eradicator.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Wonder Woman 3 canceled. As far as
good.
I might find.
Like the Wonder Woman, the original Wonder Woman was probably for a while the best of the DC movies, but it still wasn't that great.
Yeah, I didn't see the second one, but I thought the first one was, okay.
I've heard the second one. I've heard the second one was shit.
Oh yeah, I've heard it's just amazingly terrible, but I've not seen it. So,
I mean, a woman with a lasso. I mean, it should be a no-brainer that it's a great movie. I mean, it's not hard to get something like that right.
Also, Gal Gadot. I'm sorry, she's got the look, but she's not a great actress.
Really?
I don't. I would say that she doesn't have the look either.
I have not seen her.
I mean, she looks enough like Wonder Woman to me, but yeah.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, okay, but really, it
her
should be a
anything else.
person that's like, what's her name, like Lucy Lawless or something, right? Like it should be
what
a
else
truly
has she been in?
Amazonian person, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe. I suppose it depends on your interpretation. Like, sure, like a more muscly Wonder Woman would probably work, but like she's got more of the classic Wonder Woman look.
What else has she been in?
I think she was in like some musical or something.
Yeah, and then she's been in some stuff beyond that, but this was kind of her, big role.
Okay. Also speculation, and I don't even know where this came from, that Jason Momoa may be done as Aquaman, and that movie's already a mess. Let's face it, from all the Amber Heard drama surrounding it. That I've heard multiple, hot takes, from supposed internal, leaks that they're either, they either want treat Amber Heard like a disease or like she's been terribly wronged, and it just, I think you're right that it's manufactured to a degree, but they want to shit can Jason Momoa as Aquaman according to whatever is manifesting here.
I didn't see the movie. I thought he was okay as Aquaman.
Well, they want to recast him as Lobo in a Lobo project, which
he would definitely looks more like Lobo if they put
that would be better casting choice. Yeah,
that would be better.
Yeah,
right. Fan speculation that Guillermo del Toro's many failed projects, of many that had to do with DC properties, may be back on the table, including Justice League Dark, which is a Wonder Woman-led version of Justice League with supernatural characters such as Zatanna, Man-Bat, well, not exactly supernatural, a Swamp Thing, and they do battle against this hyper-dimensional evil called the Upside Down Man. It's all literally dark. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I actually kind of believe that that's a possibility based on Gunn, right? That sounds like something he would like to green light.
I would totally.
You know what? I think Guillermo del Toro would be a good choice for a Dead Man movie.
Dead Man, yeah. No one has ever attempted a Dead Man, even in animated.
No, he's been in a couple animated things. Like he was in Brave and the Bold, and he was in one of the DC movies.
Well, see, you got
animated movies.
You got Dead Man, and you got the Spectre, and you've got Necron, the villain. I mean, there's a lot. There could be a whole movie.
Yeah, have him fighting Gentleman Ghost. That would be pretty fun.
What are these other rumors? What are these other rumors about Gunn? What's he supposed to be doing?
Other rumors about Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Speculation. Del Toro, after Gunn took over, he was asked in an interview about this and broached the topic and said that Swamp Thing and Etrick and the Demon were two characters that also really fascinated him and he would love to work with. But he said he's not sure if he wants to have his fingers in the machine's mouth at his age, because they might get bitten off. He used that metaphor. Because he's very clever and quick thinking on his feet like that. Gunn and Peter,
that's a good point.
They may revive a scrapped Batman Beyond project. Fans have been clamoring for that forever. So I don't really see why they're so gunning so hard against Gunn. If they may bring back the Batman Beyond film project that was scrapped, where Bruce Wayne kind of mentors Terry McGinnis due to his failing health, and lets him take over as Batman in the future, where Bruce Wayne is elderly, I guess. I think we're getting to a place where we can accept that kind of Batman, universe. I mean,
and like I said before, if they're gonna bring Michael Keaton back, bring him back as Bruce Wayne in a Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah, that would be. I would find that acceptable.
Who would make a good Terry McGinnis? I don't know.
I haven't. Let me pull him up here
We
and
need someone young.
see what he looks like. I mean, I see what he looks like in costume. Let's see what he's like. I missed out on. Okay, looking at him here, I don't know. He kind of looks like Robin or Nightwing based on the picture I'm seeing here. But
Yeah, but like we need someone young, someone who's obviously handsome, maybe a little bit. Well, maybe not dorky. Terry McGinnis was a pretty cool guy.
is that
Maybe
an
sort of
accurate
jockish.
picture? Is that a good picture there?
Yeah, if they did an
Well, it's
animated
small,
version, you
but-
could do your Aladdin voice and play him.
Oh man,
Yeah, flatten out your southern accent, you fucking sellout.
yeah. Well, I can't think of anyone who looks like that. I mean, not off the top of my head.
Look
I mean,
in the
maybe it doesn't
mirror,
have to look
Jeremy.
exactly like him, but just someone who's like young, a little bit like
They should get Kyle
cocky and
Rittenhouse to
jockish.
play him.
Yeah, if Kyle Rittenhouse only would need to lose like 100 pounds to do that.
Wait a minute. I know who might. As long as he doesn't look older than Bruce Wayne, the guy who played Translucent in The Boys. Let me pull him up here. In the Boys series. What about him? He kind of looks the part, and he's had
Too
experience.
old.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah, a little bit too old. You
Alex
need someone who
Hathaway
looks
is out.
like theirs. You need one of those guys who's in their mid 20s but still looks like they're in high school.
That guy looks like he could be. What's that one Green Lantern guy with the Mo haircut? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Let's see.
Guy Gardner.
Yeah, he could play Guy Gardner.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, he would make a good Guy Gardner.
That would be fantastic. We've never seen a Guy Gardner in film. It does open up a lot of possibilities with James Gunn, because he likes obscure comic characters, as he proved in both Guardians of the Galaxy and Justice League, where he had to cut scenes with entire scenes, characters out because he tried to fit so many in. He had to cut Wonder Man out. Nobody gives a shit about Wonder Man, but he had to cut Wonder Man out of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He put Starhawk in Guardians 2. He's putting Adam Warlock in Guardians 3. I mean, it's just he goes crazy over these obscure characters. I mean, he made Rocket Raccoon a household name, and Groot.
Right.
So
I just don't know how they're going to probably want to, somehow reboot their flagship characters. And aside from the approach for Superman, which is pretty obvious, right? I don't know how you really do a good DC Comics movie, really.
You know what I think they should do? I think they should just go the opposite of what the MCU is doing, where they're trying to create this coherent universe. Instead, just say fuck that and have every movie be self-contained, or have separate little universes, make movies that are based entirely on Golden Age versions of characters, Golden Age Batman, Golden Age Superman, Golden Age Green Lantern, The Flash.
I don't think they should try to go for a coherent, overarching storyline, but I think they should be like a comic book, like comic books, where sometimes there's guest appearances from different characters, right? You know what I mean? We don't have to have
do what they did with the animated movies.
What's that?
Do what they did with the animated movies.
What's that?
Well, basically, everyone is pretty much just self-contained.
Right. Yeah. Like you can just, like you're saying, what is the owl? What is the quarter owls or whatever?
That would be great to develop. Yes.
Yeah, but they had a television, or not a television, what do you call those? Cheapo animated movies, right? But they just adapted that storyline, right? And they don't really try to make it to where that, every movie is interconnected and you need to watch. I just don't think that's necessary. I think you can have guest shots and some crossover stuff or whatever here and there, right? But I think they should try just to make each movie the best movie that they can make, right? I mean, and have it not have to worry about supporting some superstructure, right?
Yeah, I think here's an idea. They can redo The Killing Joke and do it right without Batman sleeping with Batgirl. God damn it, fuck that shit.
Batman sleeping with who?
Batgirl. That should not have happened ever.
Oh, that would make him a kind of a child predator kind of.
Yes, for some for some reason, the guys who did Batman, the animated series, what is his name, Tim Bruce. For some reason, he was really into the idea of that pairing, and it's fucking gross.
Him and Catwoman are like a universal unit. I mean, that can't be broken. I mean,
I mean,
they're
like in the
attempting
killing,
to
like I
lie.
said, in the Killing Joke movie, yeah, that's how it basically starts. Batman bones Batgirl, and everybody hated it.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and you know, speaking of Batgirl, this entire thing about them scrapping that movie and all, everybody being outraged about it. I mean, I just think that that's fake too. I think they're
You
eventually going
don't
to release it, and this
probably
is
at
just
some
all
point.
just viral fake outrage marketing campaign to get
I
buzz
mean,
about a movie that's not any good.
Okay, you
you
mentioned
think
Golden
someone
Age
would leak it
characters.
at some point?
You mentioned Golden Age
Uh,
characters. Doctor Fate and Hawkman both made their cinematic debuts in Black Adam, which I don't know when Black Adam became popular all of a sudden. I guess because Rock is
well,
portrayed
because
him.
Rock likes the character.
Right, and he doesn't like Shazam. He tried to kind of hold Shazam down, even though Shazam came out before him. I mean,
Oh, I've heard that the Shazam movie was actually pretty good. I don't know. Is
it
it?
kind of looks like it could be. I didn't see the first one. So James Gunn admits big changes are ahead for the DCU as fans mourn the death of Superman all over again. They're really taking this Henry Cavill thing very seriously because they almost had to say goodbye to him before, and then there was a post-credit scene with Henry Cavill back as Superman at the end of Black Adam, saying, "Black Adam, we got
So I
to
mean,
talk."
Cavill. I mean, didn't he just leave The Witcher? I mean, I thought he was leaving The Witcher so he can go back to doing
Right.
Superman.
That's why if they are going to remove him, and I almost don't think they are,
I don't think they are. I
this
think
would be a
that's
slap
not
in the
true.
face because he did leave The Witcher to do this again. Yeah.
That's my understanding. That I mean, that's what I thought. I'm not 100% sure, and that's
I
why he
think
did it.
these guys are they just need to get a grip, you know. If they are
Yeah,
really that upset, if it's true, I don't know.
yeah.
This all seems pretty uh packed journalism, if you can call it that, right? If it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
like,
it's
and
built
I don't
with
know how. Like, I don't know exactly how much like this is. Like, I'm sure, yeah, there are real cases of assholes on Twitter being like, James Gunn should be shot. We need to bring Jack Snyder back. He is the
Right.
real DTU goat. Like, I'm sure those people do exist, but like to the extent that like a lot of these journalists represent them as like the only people exist. Like, come on.
Right.
Okay, so James Gunn's latest statement. As for the story yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter, some of it is true, some of it is half true, some of it is not true, and some of it we haven't decided yet whether it's true or not. So, I mean, there's all this is speculation, basically, except for Wonder Woman 3 being canceled. I'm pretty sure that one is set in stone now, even though the actress was not yet aware when that was announced, if I'm reading that news right.
I mean, if
Uh,
they were smart, they wouldn't be. I don't know. They wouldn't be talking too much about what it is they're planning on doing, and I think they're. I think they're not. I think it's all a bunch of made up. Because, I mean, if I were the studio and I had two or three more movies that we spent 160, 200 million dollars on a piece to release over the next 2 years, I want the new guy not to be talking about all this exciting stuff that's coming up after that because they want to make their money back on those movies.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
of course, obviously, like it would be stupid to like start hyping things up at this point when you don't
Right.
even have like investors or a script or anything.
Right,
Like
exactly. And they're
it's
just
sort
going
of
to
like
be
a
sabotaging their own releases that they spent a bunch of money on. I mean, it's just there's, they got nothing. These reporters have nothing on this.
No,